The EU referendum won't be rerun. Ever since the historic vote to leave the EU, some Europhiles in the UK have insisted there should be another national poll on the final deal, but repeated legal challenges have failed to halt the process and, so far, only the flagging Lib Dems under Vince Cable have formally backed the idea, and King's College London's Professor Anand Menon, director of the UK in a Changing Europe research group, said a second Brexit referendum was now highly unlikely. He told Express.co.uk, "It's very, very hard to see how we get from where we are now to a second referendum. There are always fixes, but whether or not that a political will to do this, on the basis of the way Parliament has been voting, then no there isn't." Remainers have been pinning their hopes on the meaningful vote MPs secured on Theresa May's final deal with the EU. But the government has always said a Commons defeat would simply mean the UK leaves with no deal at all, despite calls from campaigners. Professor Menon, co-author of Brexit and British Politics, said there were too many doubts about what would happen in the event Mrs May was defeated. Some Remainers are refusing to lie down, and even if that did force a fresh election, Labour remains hopelessly divided on Europe and has shown no desire to back calls to rerun the Brexit vote. Just last month, Jeremy Corbyn was forced to sack his former leadership rival Owen Smith for supporting a fresh vote on the issue. Professor Menon said, "Hand on heart, no one knows what happens. Does the Prime Minister resign? That's not certain. Is there a general election? If we have a general election, do Labour campaign on staying in? That's not certain either." EU supporters seem destined for defeat again with less than a year to go until Britain leaves the EU next March. Some have pointed to a sheer lack of time to organise a new national poll, but Professor Menon said that, at least, might be easier to work around, with the EU being persuaded to give the UK an extension. He said, "They'd be hard-pressed to say no. On the time issue, you probably need about 6 months from when you legislate to do it to when you have it. You can't do a referendum on the back of an envelope." Some in MITL still insist there was no mandate for Brexit, or there was no decision to Brexit and the A50 notification was invalid. To me, these are generals refighting battles of the last war. Unless the politics change, Brexit is happening. Question is what happens next. David Alan Green, at Davidlan Green, April 9, 2018. The comments come as a number of leading Remain figures appeared to give up hope. Legal commentator David Alan Green, who has often been scathing about the Brexit process, tweeted this week that some people were now simply refighting battles of the last war. He told his followers they should focus on helping to shape Britain's post-transition future instead, as stopping Brexit was only a small possibility, and he warned those seeking a further referendum, for which there is probably not enough time, as primary legislation would be required, or a meaningful vote, are pinning hopes on things they may well not win. No reason either vote will necessarily go the way Remainers want it to.